Good evening. My name's Steve. I started doing these Sunday night streams just to vent and talk about what happened this past week, things that I find funny, stories I find interesting, or what have you. This evening, I'm going to be talking about how Kamala Harris, our lovely vice president, became the AI Czar to, what does the title say? Save us from artificial intelligence. But okay. Before we get into that, let me make sure my stream is working. And all right, yep. So before I get into that, found a couple things on TikTok or Twitter that just cracked me up. So this one I just saw today. You got to check this out.
Daddy, you spanked Mama.
You're darn tootin' I did.
That means you love her.
That's what I've been trying to tell her.
So I showed this to my wife. The first thing she said, I wrote it down, is, I seriously need the context to that. I don't know what that's from. That is pretty funny. And the way it zooms in on the wife's face. Let's watch this again.
Daddy, you spanked Mama.
You're darn tootin' I did.
That means you love her.
That's what I've been trying to tell her.
You're darn tootin' I did. Anyways, this kind of got me thinking, and maybe I'll cover this on another day, but it kind of got me thinking about, spanking in general. Now, hitting your wife, probably not a good idea. Wouldn't recommend it. No, it's not a good idea. But there is like kind of a debate kind of going on, at least in the libertarian world, as to whether or not it's okay to spank your children. And I may go into that another time and give my thoughts on that, but I'm not prepared to do that now. Let's just go to this next video that, honestly, I couldn't believe this is real, and I'm pretty sure it is. And she has 5 ways you can support your fat friends, and it goes kind of quick, so I'm gonna have to like kind of pause it for each one. Are you ready for this? I thought this may have been satire, but I think it's real. I think it's real because all this fat acceptance movement that's been going on the past few years, it's gone off the rails. And this isn't even like the craziest one. I just found this funny.
6'9" girls wanna drink wine. Tell the man not to waste your time. If the man
Call ahead to restaurants to make sure they have fat-friendly seating. Hello? Do you have seating that's big enough to fit my fat friend? Can you imagine calling a restaurant? Ask them that, like, how fat? I mean, we're talking fat, all right? Do you have an oversized bench? And I mean oversized. Can it support 450 pounds? There's more to this.
broke, the man he a joke, so you gotta get loose with.
Communicate about stairs, parking, and walking at a venue. Now, this one isn't as crazy. That's something to consider if you're handicapped or need some assistance. If there's a place with a lot of steps or whatnot, I can kind of understand that.
The Henny and the Coke. 3, 2, 1.
Call ahead to ask about... Call ahead to ask about the weight limits of equipment. Come on, is this real? What equipment are they talking about? I call the restaurant? Or what did this video begin to say? When you're just going out, like, hey, what are these chairs rated for? Because I got a fat friend coming with me.
Girls wanna have fun. If
Make sure your home has fat-friendly seating. Like this thing, I guess. That's fat-friendly.
the man don't dance, he's done. Tell him move on.
Keep your negative body talk and diet plans to yourself. Don't be saying any of this thing about how should eat less. Oh,
Get the man
man.
gone. Now can I get a cook?
That's so crazy, right? Call ahead for weight limits for the equipment. You think anyone's going to know what the weight limits are for their equipment? And what is a restaurant going to tell you? Hey, I have a really fat person coming. So get ready. Get that food cooking. Anyways. Oh, shoot. Anyways, let's go on to today's topic, which is the White House names Kamala Harris the AI Czar to save humanity from artificial intelligence. Oh, Lord, help us all. So my first thought is, outside of the craziness of Kamala being the AI czar, whatever that means, is artificial intelligence a threat to humanity? You know, I'm like, the only way it would be a threat is if they were able to combine, and maybe this is, you know, and maybe this technology already exists, but ChatGPT does a good way of kind of doing AI in a text form, like a conversational type of thing. We already have text to speech, and we have robots that mimic, you know, human movements that kind of look like humans or whatever. So if they can somehow combine all three of those, and you give this thing access to a firearm or whatever, yeah, I guess that would be a threat to someone, but I don't know about a threat to humanity. Are they going to mass produce these things? Or is the military using this kind of stuff out on the battlefield to make decisions as to when to drop a bomb or whatever? I don't know. I don't know exactly how this could possibly be a threat to humanity. But I don't have to worry about that anymore because Kamala Harris is here to save us. So the next thing I thought was, I was like, wait, wasn't she the border czar? So, and I did a quick search, and sure enough, yes, she was named the border czar. And just from a year ago, the White House absolutely backs Harris as the border czar amid migrant surge. So, you know, Joe Biden already tasked her with dealing with the crisis at the border, and apparently she's moved on onto something more easy to handle. I found that funny. So, from the article, and the White House announced the plan to crack down on AI on Thursday amid growing concerns over the advanced technology possibly replacing humanity someday. Is that what the concern is? They're going to replace humanity? Okay. And then this article, I couldn't believe it actually says this. Harris, who has the lowest approval rating of any modern vice president, will lead the initiative as AI czar with a $140 million budget. $140 million to do what? This is unbelievable. The plan is to launch 7 new AI research institutes, which will bring the total number of institutes to 25 across the United States. So this is a handout to, you know, the cronies and within government, and, you know, we already have, what does it say? They're going to launch 7 new ones. So we already have 18 of these out there. What do we need another 7 for? What are they all doing? This is so stupid. So then they had this round table, this photo op, where she was sitting with all the CEOs of these companies and stuff. And I can tell you no knowledge was learned at this conversation. I mean, Can you imagine sitting in this conference room talking about AI with Kamala Harris? And some of these people are smart, no doubt about it. They didn't get to their position by accident. Unlike Kamala Harris. Well, it wasn't an accident, but she didn't get there because of her own merits. We all know that. So, speaking of AI, I saw a screen grab of, I guess Snapchat has AI, which I've never seen this. I've been on Snapchat like once, like years ago, but I don't use it. So someone said, did Joe Biden say you're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations? And this is the AI's response, says, no, Joe Biden did not say that, quote, you're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations. Then it says, while the COVID-19 vaccines are highly effective at preventing severe illness, hospitalization, and death, they are not 100% effective at preventing infection. It is still possible to contract COVID-19 after being vaccinated, although the likelihood of severe illness or hospitalization is greatly reduced. Then it goes on, during a town hall event in July 2021, Biden said, quote, you're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations. So it's saying, it's completely contradicting itself right in the same thing. But then it clarifies it and says, but he was referring specifically to the fact that the vaccines are highly effective at preventing severe illness and death, not to the fact that they provide complete protection against infection. A straight up lie. This AI is straight up lying to you. Here's the proof.
You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
He didn't qualify that by saying severe illness, blah, 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 blah. No. We all understood what he said, and it was clear as day.
You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Clear as day. So this AI, looks like Kamala already got her hands in on this AI and rigged this thing to lie to you.
You're not.
It's crazy, man. So I saw another article. I couldn't believe it. Kind of critical of Kamala Harris. It says a tongue-tied Kamala Harris has again fallen into the oratorical quicksand. It would be humorous if it were not so serious. Harris just said something funny without trying, a habit she has become increasingly known for. I think I'm missing the headline for this article. I already got it out of order, but to be sure, she didn't insult anyone or venture into controversial areas such as race, gender, or religion. She just misspoke and fell into a bowl of one of her trademark word salads. These are circular statements that lead her down a path of repetition that makes no sense. Dude, this article posted today, and it was on like Yahoo's homepage. That's how I saw it. So then it goes, what did she say now? Harris was speaking to a friendly audience at the end of April at Howard University and opining about abortion rights. Then she dropped this confusing verbiage. Quote, so I think it's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us, at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past, but the future. So, this article continues. It says, her opponents doctored that murky quote into something worse. So Republicans, always eager to poke fun at the vice president, sure, took it a step further in a snarky manner. Someone online took that quote and sliced it and diced it to make it appear even worse. In the doctored video, Harris said the following statement. Dang it. I have that in there twice. But this is the statement that they doctored. Today is today, and yesterday was today yesterday. Tomorrow will be today tomorrow. So live today so the future today will be as the past today as it is tomorrow. So, obviously, they're poking fun at Kamala Harris because that her other quote was just as ridiculous. So then what's even more hilarious is the AP fact checkers step in to throw Harris a lifeline. Of course they do. These fact checkers are so ridiculous. So the AP took offense to this dastardly deed and fact checked the video. The left-leaning newswire service determined that the "Today is Today" quote was not present in her remarks at Howard. So the AP believes that someone faked her statement and made an even more flavorful word salad. This false video made its rounds on social media in May, and the AP provided cover for the vice president to protect her from critics. So I'm going to get to that fact check in just a minute, and we'll talk about that. But the damage is already done, as the conservatives sought to offer up more evidence that the vice president cannot communicate effectively. Obviously. She's better than Biden, but not much. So the AP has an initiative that serves to fight misinformation. Ugh, of course they do. By the way, what is misinformation? Anything they don't like. And false statements that damage public discourse. This is important. No, it's not. But clearly the Harris misquote was only done for humor and satire. Yes, obviously. Harris indeed committed one of her word salads, and the internet just took that and ran with it. The AP looks like a scold killjoy and tattletale for ruining a good joke. So I agree partially with this guy, at least his last point. Yeah, they were just making fun of Kamala Harris, and then the AP puts a fact check out there. Doctored video or no doctored video, she still often makes no sense during her public addresses. The problem is not a deep fake. It is a deep malade. I don't even know what that word is. And no fact check can save her from herself. Exactly. And this guy says he's defended Harris before, but as someone who can right the ship and sail off into calmer waters. Oh, come on. No, she can't. But I am losing my patience as she gets worse with speech after confusing speech. So Kamala's even losing these journalists, like mainstream journalists, that are there to defend her and have defended her before. Kamala is losing them. The White House doesn't seem to mind and allows Harris to fail upward. Ooh. I'll tell you what, the Democrats are in a rock and a hard place for this upcoming election. They got a demented president who is getting older by the day, visibly so, and it's painful to watch. He doesn't do any press conferences. They already said he's not going to do a debate for the Democratic primaries. And who's their next candidate up besides Biden? Well, obviously, in normal times, in a normal world, it would be the vice president. But we all know Kamala is a joke. She only got there because of the color of her skin. And they can't go with Kamala. She's wildly unpopular. So that's why they're pushing Biden and trying to push him across the finish line again. Because after that, I don't know who they've got. Maybe Gavin Newsom. But anyways, so they're losing even the journalists that tend to like them. So, for example, continuing this guy's article, she was just given the role of a point person for the Biden administration's initiative to monitor advances in AI and develop a government response to technology that is changing the world. And then she met with a group of tech CEOs from that picture I showed and appeared to handle herself well. But this was no speech. This was simply Harris hanging out in a boardroom. Perhaps small groups are better for her than big crowds. Either way, the word salads need to be curtailed if she is to be taken seriously by voters. Otherwise, she will be fodder for online tricksters and late-night comics with audiences that want to belittle her. This is not a good development for the VP, and fact-checkers will not be able to save her if she continues to struggle with basic communication. Yeah, listen, I'm not a great communicator, but I wouldn't talk myself into word salads repeating myself like Kamala Harris. I mean, good Lord. At least like practice or have a written speech or something. So now we're getting to the AP fact check of this thing, which is totally ridiculous, but it's pretty funny. So the video of Kamala Harris saying today is today was altered. So the claim was that Kamala gave a speech saying today is today and yesterday was today yesterday. Tomorrow will be today tomorrow. So live today so the future today will be as the past today as it is tomorrow. Obviously a joke, but it's in the spirit of what she said. But it's funny. So the AP, this is their fact check. They say it's an altered video, and she was at a rally for reproductive rights at Howard University. Reproductive rights. Okay. It's anyways. And she did not say that quote. So the real clip, Republicans say it was a word salad. Yep. In the real footage, and I already read this before, but she says, so I think it's very important, as you may have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past, but the future. This lady is something else, man. So anyways, yeah, we get that. So they said the altered clip was posted Friday by an account that frequently posts footage of politicians and has been edited for comedic effect. So they're acknowledging that this was done to be humorous. And it says, while many users shared their video as a joke, others suggested it was real. So apparently that they felt the need to do a fact check, even though 99% of people know this is a joke. Are there a few people out there who take everything at face value and don't question anything and are fooled by stuff? Yes. People get fooled by the Babylon Bee articles. One of the tweets said, quote, if you get what Kamala Harris is saying yesterday, then tell me tomorrow so I can make my past better. So they've included a joke in their fact check, which is pretty funny. Okay, last thing on Kamala. I saw this clip and I think this is from this week. So she's at some new business that apparently grows plants in a lab or something or other. But just listen to this. It's crazy.
And when I speak with small business owners and entrepreneurs, some of our younger small business owners actually self-identify as entrepreneurs. They're small business owners also. But we'll go with whatever you like. Small business owner or entrepreneurs.
This lady is so incredibly unlikable. It's right up there with Hillary. So small business owners are entrepreneurs. If I don't understand her distinction, and then she just starts laughing like she thinks it's the funniest thing.
And when I speak with small business owners and entrepreneurs, some of our younger small business owners actually self-identify as entrepreneurs.
They self-identify. Is it like these people have utter contempt for you.
They're small business owners also.
Do you believe this lady? So apparently in her mind, this is what I think. When she hears the word entrepreneur, she thinks a Silicon Valley tech entrepreneur who's a multimillionaire. She thinks of extremely successful entrepreneurs because that's how the word's often used, I suppose. This is what I think she thinks, even though she has no idea what an entrepreneur is. But yes, they are small business owners. And she's basically saying some of these younger folks, they think they're entrepreneurs. Ha! They're small business owners. These little peons. They just own a small little business. They have utter contempt for you. And then she just starts laughing. Oh my God, she's so unlikable. No wonder they were trying to keep. They were like, go mess with AI, go talk to Google and Facebook and pretend to do something. All right, that's almost it for tonight. I got a couple more things, so I'm a little tired today. I had to pressure wash my driveway, and that kind of wiped me out a little bit. So, boy, I got to tell you, these new generations going up in front of, I don't even know. This is probably a state house. I don't know what state. But these people, I mean, first off, you can already tell what party this person is there to represent. And you got to listen to her speech. And I will prepare you. You need to plug your ears. I might turn the volume down on this a little bit.
Often I prepare something, maybe it's a little historical, a little poetic. There's a lot of performative people on this board who will say one thing in support of Black people, homeless people, trans people, and then immediately stab you in the face. So I don't have any words prepared today. I just want you to feel our pain. So I am going to spend the next minute screaming. That is what the trans genocide in this country, in this city.
Trans genocide? These people are not serious people.
Has brought me to. Imagine that.
Wow. I mean, I gotta tell you, while I'm making fun of this lady obviously has a mental illness. And I think it's true for a lot of young people, man. Just have a absolute mental illness. She seemed composed initially, and then, I don't know, maybe this makes her feel better to kind of scream or whatever. I honestly don't know what she's trying to accomplish. And she loses me immediately when she says trans genocide. Oh my Lord. Anyways, enough about that. I got two more things. So, you guys remember a couple months ago when a study came out and it said gas stoves were harmful because they cause asthma in children or something along those lines. Well, and then the media came out and said, "Oh, Republicans are falsely claiming that they want to take your gas stoves and this, that, and the other thing. These friggin' conspiracy kooks." Well, this was not that long ago. I don't know, a couple months ago.
You might think that the U.S. government is coming for your gas stove. That is a new and absolutely ridiculous one.
Turns out Fox News and Republicans are up in arms because they say the government is coming to take your stoves.
What Republicans are saying is, damn it, they're going to take your gas stove.
The GOP have been stoking a ridiculous new freakout about gas stoves. No one is taking your gas stove.
The right-wing freakout over the use of gas stoves is merely the latest in a long series of made-up culture war battles designed to enrage and rile up their right-wing and paranoid base.
Oh, man, these
Republicans are prone to conspiracy theories, whether it's, the kooky, like JFK Jr. is coming back from the dead to run with Trump, or the sort of duplicitous, like this administration's coming to take away your gas stoves.
Republicans have turned a government warning about your health into a lie about Democrats trying to take your stoves.
You get some bureaucrat saying something that has no power, and then suddenly you have Ron DeSantis, I'm going to protect your gas. Everybody going to be talking about gas stoves, it's so stupid. People were tweeting.
So you know where this is going, right?
You might think that the U.S. government is coming for your gas. Republicans have turned a government warning about you.
And then suddenly, you have Ron DeSantis, so I'm going to protect your gas. Everybody going to be talking about gas stoves, it's so stupid. People were tweeting at me this weekend that Ron DeSantis is going to protect my gas stove. But I don't seem to be. What
the heck?
The sheer stupidity of it. And if it were just bloggers, that would be one thing. But when you have Kevin McCarthy going out and other people talking about gas stoves, because they keep getting dumber and dumber.
The Republican Party has become.
You know who's getting dumber and dumber is friggin' Morning Joe Goofball.
Addicted to this culture of lies and conspiracy theories that they have fomented, right? And so they know
conspiracy theory.
That there is a substantial number of people in the country, in their party, who they can convince that this is true, and that it will enrage those people. This is the economy of and the culture of conspiracy theories, right? There are, I'm certain, you and I will be.
Most new buildings, including gas stoves. The new law requires all electric heating and cooking in new buildings shorter than 7 stories by 2026.
Governor Kathy Hochul and the Democratic-controlled state legislature approved a bill on Tuesday prohibiting the use of fossil fuels for heating and cooking. The law is the first statewide ban in the nation and goes into effect in 2026 for buildings under 7 stories.
So now, I'm sure if I were to flip on MSNBC, all of those hosts would apologize and say, oh, I'm sorry for calling you guys conspiracy theories and really stupid people and all that. No, of course not. But here you go. This is all it takes. You get one of these kooky state governors or city whatever to start banning it. And then what they do is they phase it in. So they say, okay, for new construction, no more gas stoves going forward, and then the ball, they get the ball rolling, and it goes from there. So, because then what'll happen is eventually they'll ban the sale of them, and then for the folks that have gas stoves, they won't be able to get repair parts or, whatever. So they're going to slowly phase out that industry. And that's obviously what's going to happen. So they're not conspiracy theorists or stupid people, but I mean this is how it works. You know how many conspiracy theories were proven right during the last 3 years of this COVID nonsense? Should do a segment on that. Anyways, all right, I think this is the last thing, and I almost didn't do this, but excuse me. Olivia Pichardo, I don't know, became the first woman to play NCAA Division I baseball, and she threw out the first pitch at Fenway Park. Let's see how it went. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Oh. At least she had a laugh about it. I mean, listen. It is funny. And I'm sure she's decent at baseball, and I'm sure she can normally throw a baseball without that pressure, but there is something different about having, tens of thousands of people watching you throw out a pitch, and you only get one shot at it. But even still, I mean, you would think it would at least be straight and on line. Maybe you bounce it to the catcher or whatever, but it wasn't as bad as Fauci's first pitch, although Fauci's an old dude. But listen, I got a good laugh out of this. But I kind of feel bad for her. Anyways, that's all I got for today. I'm tired, and if you happen to watch this far, thanks. I appreciate it. And yeah, listen, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you here next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks. Take care and have a good night. Bye.